Hi friends, good morning. Welcome to Eng-lane English classroom. Today we discuss degrees of comparison part 2, that is their transformations. Dear friends, it is a very important language element or item which recurrently appear in the tools of all the competitive examinations, especially which are conducted by KPSC for LDC and some other posts, and it is of somewhat higher degree, higher level, but anyone can understand because it is very simple. So watch carefully, you can get it very easily. Dear friends, I think you have watched the video Degrees of Comparison 1. What we learned? We have learned degrees of comparison and how we form them. Now let us revisit it. There are three forms of same adjectives. One adjective can take three forms. That is, as an example, long, longer, longest, thin, thicker, thickest, short, shorter, shortest. Long, longer, longest, thick, thicker, thickest, short, shorter, shortest. Right? Yes. Now here the adjectives change in form to show comparison. That is called, or those forms are called degrees of comparison. As we have seen, there are three degrees of comparison. They are, the first one is, you see, the positive degree. That is its simple form or basic form, and it is used to show simple quality of a noun. There is no comparison, right? The second one is, as the name indicates, that is the comparative degree. That is the degree, or that is form which denotes the higher degree of that quality than positive, and is used to show comparison between two nouns. That is very important, two nouns. And the superlative is, next one is the superlative degree, that denotes the highest degree of that quality, and it is used when more than two things are compared. It is to show the comparison of one noun with all others in that group or in that class. That is, in Malayalam we must say a tune, right? I think you got these things. That is, there are three degrees of comparison. First one is the positive degree, the basic form. Second one is, indeed there is no comparison. Second one is the comparative degree, that is that denotes a higher degree, and that is used when two things are compared. Now superlative degree, that is the highest, and it is used when more than one or more than two things, or when we compare one thing to all other things in that group or class. Okay, yes. Shall we move on? Right. This was the picture where we have used in that video. I think remember. Now see. You please study these sentences. The black line is longer than the blue line. Listen very carefully, dears. I think you have a notebook and pen. The question should be written then and there, and you have to try to attend the answers. And you can pause whenever it is necessary, or wherever it is necessary. Then only you can learn it thoroughly, right? Next sentence. The blue line is not so long as the black line. There are two sentences. What about their meaning? Whether those sentences have any difference in meaning? No, really. Which are the adjectives used here? Here it is longer and this is long. Now let us conclude. They express the same meaning but use different degrees of comparison. That is, we can transform or change sentence 1, that is the first sentence, to sentence 2, and sentence 2 to sentence 1, that is vice versa. I think you got the ideas here. That is, the black line is longer than the blue line. The blue line is not so long as the black line. Both sentences mean the same, but there are different degrees of comparison. That means here longer, the comparative degree is transformed to long positive degree. Okay, then how can we transform it? Let us have a simple formula for that. After verb you have to put a note, then so the positive degree of that adjective, and then as. Shall we do some exercises? The blue line is thicker than the red line. See, with the common sense we can understand that it should begin with the red line is not so positive degree thick as the blue line. Okay, the red line is not so thick as the blue line. See the answer? The red line is not so thick as the blue line. Clear? I think very clear. Next one. Try yourself. Yeah. The green line is not so short as the yellow line. Clear? Right. You have to do it yourself. Then only you see the answers. Now we can do some more exercises. First one is Birbal was wiser than Balu. Try to do it. Balu was not so wise as Birbal. Right? Next, try to do it. Akbar was greater than his father. His father was not so great as Akbar. Right? Next one, Alex is taller than Lalu. Right? Lalu is not so tall as Alex. Simple yes, I think no doubt. Now, how can we transform the superlative to other degrees? See, superlative then can be transformed into two, that is the comparative and the positive. How can we do it? See one example. The black line is the longest of all. The black line is the longest of all. Right. The black line is longer than any other line. How do we transform it here? See, the black line is longer than any other line. The black line is longer than any other line. That means black line is the longest of all. Right? No other line is so long as the black line. I think you got the idea. Black line ഏറ്റവും നീളമുള്ളതാണ്. ബ്ലാക്ക് ലൈൻ ബാക്കിയുള്ള എല്ലാത്തിനേക്കാൾ നീളതാണ് മീൻസ് അതാണ് ഏറ്റവും വലുത്. മറ്റൊരു ലൈനും ബ്ലാക്കിനെ പോലെ നീളമില്ല എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ബ്ലാക്ക് ലൈൻ ഏറ്റവും വലുത്. I think you got it. Right? Now we can form the formula like this. When we transform superlative to comparative, superlative degree, comparative degree, then plus any other plus singular noun. See, any other line. Right? Next, when we transform superlative to positive degree, no other, we should start with it, and singular noun is the, and the verb will be the, and so plus the positive degree plus as. See, no other line is so long positive as the black line. Clear? Now shall we do it? Before that, this is our title is, the title of this video is transformation. What is transformation meant by transformation? We can change any of these degrees into either of the other two. That means superlative can be transformed into comparative and positive, and that is the transformation of degrees of comparison. I think you got it right. Now let us try this. Yellow line is the shortest of all. First let us try to transform into comparative degree. See, the yellow line is the shortest. We can change it to comparative, that is shorter than any other line. See, the yellow line is shorter than any other line. Okay, next one, into positive. Into positive. First let us try, after that let us see. no other line is so short as the yellow line. See, no other line is so short as the yellow line. Clear? The blue line is the thickest of all. You can try it yourself. Yeah, shall we try? The blue line is thicker than any other line. Next one is no other line is so thick as the blue line. Clear? Yes? Okay. Now let us try this. Write yourself. Birbal was the wisest minister in the court. Ready? Birbal was wiser than any other minister in the court. And posting, no other minister in the court was so wise as Birbal. Serious? Okay? Now, next one. Akbar was the greatest king. Come on. Write it and then let us discuss. Akbar was greater than any other king. Positive. No other king was so great as Akbar. Think you have done it yourself, right? Next one. Alex is the tallest boy in the class. Come, write it. Okay. Alex is taller than any other boy in the class. No other boy in the class is as tall as Alex. Right? After writing only, you have to watch this and compare your answers with this one. Okay? Now, see this example. The blue line is one of the longest lines. What's the difference here? Here, this is not only the longest line, but this is only one of the longest lines. Then how can we transform it? See, this is the way. The blue is longer than most other. Instead of any other, we use most other. Right? Most other lines. And here, instead of not any, we use not many, no many, or very few, or only few lines are so or as long as the blue line. Okay, what it is? Now we can rewrite the formula like this. And here, when is it? Here it begins with, or there is a one of with the comparative, with the superlative degree. Then you have to change like this: a comparative degree than most other. If there is only the superlative degree, we use any other. Instead of any other, we have to use most other. And after it, we use plural noun. That is also you have to bear in your mind. And here, instead of no other, we use no, many, and only a few or very few, not many, right? Okay, right? Now we can do it. Some exercises. See, the green line is one of the shortest lines. See, how can we change it? First, the green line is shorter than most other lines. Simple, right? Next one, no, many, or very few, or then only few lines are so short as the green line. Clear? Okay. Now the yellow line is one of the thickest lines. Come on. Try to write it. Okay, the yellow line is thicker than most other lines. Otherwise, not many or no many or very few or only few lines are so or as thick as the yellow line. Clear? Clear, yes? Now, what about these sentences? The blue line is not the longest of all. Here what's the difference? It is a negative comparison, right? Then how can we change it? Some lines are longer than the blue lines. See? And the positive degree is a number of lines are at least as long as the blue line. Okay? Then what's the difference here? Here it is negative, not is there. So we have to, instead of we have changed the words, that is we use here some and last a number of, right? Then you can do it yourself. One more example. Alex is not the tallest boy in the class. Negative comparison is there. Then how can we write it? Some boys in the class are taller than Alex, right? And a number of boys in the class are at least as long as Alex, right? You can see it, right? Right? Okay. Now we can do this exercise. A train is faster than a car. An aeroplane is faster than a train. A car is bigger than a scooter. A car is smaller than a bus. A bus is bigger than a car. A scooter is smaller than a bus. You have to try to transform these into positive degree. Okay, take your time and write it. After that, you can do this and you can pause there and you can write it. And this one, it is in superlative degree, so you can transform it to two other degrees, right? The bus is the biggest of all. The aeroplane is one of the fastest vehicles in the world. English is one of the most useful languages. John is not the most intelligent boy in the class. Okay? After writing, you can check the answers. A train is faster than a car. Come on. A car is not so fast as a train. We have learned it, yeah? Here. A train is not so fast as an aeroplane. A train is not so fast as, not so big as an aeroplane. Not so big as an aeroplane. A train is not so big as an aeroplane, right? Okay. The next one is a bus is not so small as a car. A bus is not so small as a car. Here, come on. A car is not so big as a bus. Come on. A bus is not as small as a scooter, right? Now, this one you have to transform into 2 degrees. The bus is the biggest of all. How can we transform into comparative first? The bus is bigger than any other vehicle. In the group that there were only 3 vehicles, among them, bus is the biggest, right? The bus is bigger than any other vehicle. No other vehicle in the group is so big as the bus. You know that, right? Aeroplane is one of, you know this. Aeroplane is faster than most other vehicles in the world. Or no many or very few vehicles or only few vehicles in the world are so or as fast as the aeroplane. Clear? Next one. English is more useful than most other languages. No many or not many or only few or very few languages are so or as useful as English. John is the most, not most intelligent. See, here is not, then some boys are more intelligent than John. Next, a number of boys are at least as intelligent as John. Okay, dears? Here you can add this some boys in the class, right? And here a number of boys in the class, or at least. Okay, yes. Now then, it is very clear and you can do it yourself. Hope you have learned what you have discussed. Thank you for watching, and it is very nice and simple, yes. And with this, you have studied everything about comparative, or comparison of adjectives. Thank you for watching. Meet you again. Till then, goodbye.